Hi everyone, this is Vickie Verley, the Rock and Roll Prophetess, and we're going to take a look at the full moon. It's the full moon in Libra. Again, we did have another full moon in Libra, so it's the second full moon in Libra. I'm not sure, there is maybe a term for it. It's not really a blue moon, I don't think, because a blue moon would be the second full moon in the month, which it's not. It's just in Libra. And it's right at the very, very end of Libra, at 29 degrees of Libra, and it is occurring at April 19th, 7:12 a.m. Eastern Time. At times will vary. Yeah, 29 degrees, that is called a critical degree. If you've never seen my forecast, it's going to start out with a lot of astrology, but it definitely is a psychic reading. As I get into it more and more information, I use this as like a scrying tool or a jumping off point. So if you're like, I don't understand astrology, well, give it time. It's going to get more psychic as it goes on. And if you're really anal about, well, that's not in an astrology book, then maybe this isn't the forecast for you, because I go a little bit out. I definitely color outside the lines, and it is a psychic reading. Okay. So anyways, let's talk about this 29. That's called a critical degree, and that means it's critical. It means like it's 29 is the very end, and then it goes back to 0. So it's critical. In karmic astrology, and it's when I used to do those soul reading, the past life soul's journey readings, you know, that is a karmic degree. It's what you're working on. It's what you, it's critical to finish it up. We want to finish something up when it's at 29 degrees. And a full moon is a time of culmination also. So it's a time that we want to finish things up, come to terms with it, finish it, and put it to rest. It's in the sign of Libra again, so for many of us this is going to be some kind of partnership stuff, you know. This is relationships. This is one-on-one partnerships. This is deals and compromising and making deals and coming to agreements, making agreements. That 4 agreements just popped into my head. The Miguel Beach, I can't even think of one of them right now. I think Be Kind is one of them, but you know what I'm talking about. That just popped into my head. The other planetary stuff has kind of been the same for a while. We've got this concentration in Pisces, and then we've got a concentration in Aries. And then, of course, the Sun is at 29 Aries, and then we've got the Capricorn stellium going on down here. The Sun being at 29 Aries, it's actually conjuncting Uranus. So there's some Uranian energy present at the time of this full moon. Uranus, it's interesting because Uranus really wants to break free. Some people may be ending relationships during this time, I'll just be real honest. And it's not always your marriage or although that's the main thing that the Libra/7th house energy rules, is your one-on-one relationships. But it could be a friendship, it could be a business partnership, it could be a lot of different things. But it's just like, you know what, I want to be free of this. I'm hearing the rat race. So a lot of you, it's going to be work. A lot of you might be, some people might be quitting their jobs. Some people, you're tired of going around in a circle. That's really what they're showing me, is the hamster on the wheel. So it's like you keep going around in a circle, going around in a circle, going around in a circle. It's getting old. You know, we're getting old. It's getting old. I'm tired of doing this same old thing. I want to, Uranian energy, I want to ascend to the next level. Excuse me. Drink of water. I want to ascend to the next level. I want to go higher. I don't want to play the same old game, the same old scenario. And for some of you, it could be with one individual person. Like, are we really going to have this talk again? Are we really going to have this argument again? Haven't we? I think we've had this discussion before. But for others, sometimes we play out these scenarios with different people. You know, like say you like, well, why does every guy I meet this or that? You know what? Let's pick something. Why does every guy I meet ignore me and play video games? You know, that's the common complaint I hear a lot. So, well, what, you know, you might want to pick somebody who doesn't play video games or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be that. It could just be anything. Or why do I keep marrying or hooking up with workaholics? All he does is work, work, work. Well, maybe you want to pick somebody different. You're wanting something different. So this same old thing that's playing out, it could either be with the same old person or with a series of different people. Or why are all my friends this, or, you know, fill in the blank on that. And it's time to make some changes, you know. This doing the same thing over and over is that definition of insanity thing. You know what else is at this high degree here is the Venus. Talk about love and relationships. Well, the Venus is at 28, so that's close enough. I mean, it's almost 29 degrees. And of course, Venus is the planet of love. So I think this is going to really be, for a lot of people, about people we love, our relationships, who we hang out with, Venus energy, who we hang out with in pleasure. Some of you, you know, I'm a musician. I know a lot of musicians watch this forecast. You know, bands, you know. It's the same old band drama, you know, LSD, lead singer disorder, and, you know, all that stuff. And, or, you know, what's that movie, Spinal Tap, where the drummers keep dying of spontaneous human combustion. Damn, I hate when that happens. I'm just joking around. But anyways, so, you know, it's this same old thing, same old thing. Let's do, or, you know, let's do a band. I've seen so many people, you know, like, they're still doing, like, 80s cover tunes. Okay, well, this band sucked and blah, 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 there's all this band drama. Come on, we're going to start a new band. Well, what are we going to do? They pull out their same old set list from the last band they did. You know, they're still doing whatever, you know. We're going to do Pat Benatar, and we're going to hit you with your best shot, and all this stuff. It's like, that stuff is so played out. I mean, nothing against Pat Benatar or anything, but, you know, these played out set lists. You know, they're played out set lists in our lives, you know. It's this set list. This is how we're going to go about and do things, you know. And let's just, so we're going to do this new band, we're going to do this new relationship, we're going to do this new whatever. And it's really just the same, you know, same shit, different day, basically, as they say. So with the Uranian energy, there's really a chance to, like, do something, even if it is with the same old person, or the same old band, or group of people, or whoever. You know, let's try to approach it differently. Let's take a different approach. Let's, you know, let's make it our own, is what I was thinking of. That's with playing cover tunes, you know. Trying to copy some, you know, replicate exactly the same thing over and over again. Branch out a little. Take a lead, you know. Go off and spice it up. So we want to spice things up with this Uranian energy, you know. And we want to be ourselves, too. You know, we don't want to fall into these patterns. You know, if you want to be yourself and express yourself. And with the Venus there, you know, that's part of it, too. The Mercury has moved up into Aries, and it's conjuncting the Chiron right at this time of the full moon energy. So the Chiron, again, it's the deep wounds, it's all this deep stuff. And that's where these repeating patterns come from. We play this stuff out, it's all our stuff. It's all our baggage, it's all our crap. And, we, you know, it's the non-dual thing, or the shadow and all that stuff, you know. We play it out, you know, in our relationship with others. You know, that's how we play it out. And, so the Mercury Chiron, the Chiron is all this deep stuff. It's the Mercury is, you know, our mental mind, it's realizations, rational mind, it's making sense of things through our rational mind, it's communicating our thoughts, it's communications. Some people are going to get, the Mercury Chiron, you're going to get a message that's going to really be healing for you, you know. Chiron is the wounded healer, but the wound, I think, being the key word in the Chiron energy. It's our biggest obstacle that we have to heal. It's where we wound ourselves over and over again. It's hard. It's hard soul work. It's the deep, nitty-gritty soul work stuff, the Chiron energy. But somebody's going to get a message. I feel like somebody's going to find something. Like somebody's finding something and like, oh, all along you were under this false assumption. Somebody's under this false assumption for a very long time. And then they find something. Like something written. Like a letter or a card, or like say, oh, my dad never showed up for my birthday, and then you find, you're clearing out his stuff and there was a card and it didn't get sent or something. Oh, so he didn't forget my birthday. It feels like that. or he didn't, you know, he did write me there was a telegram or a letter that said they couldn't come or they couldn't make it. And all this, there's been this assumption the whole time that they were a dirty dog and that they, you know, didn't care or whatever. And if somebody's going to find something like that, I'm feeling like, I feel like we're going through clearing out somebody's house who these are past, or maybe they're just like the old person's home, and we're going through in papers and stuff, and then we really did love her, or he really did this and that. And then there's a very strong male energy attached to it too, as I keep saying he. But I mean, that could be a message for one person out there. But we could have these kind of revelations anyway. You know, we could just have these kind of revelations. The Mars, the Aries energy, which is Mars, of course, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, Aries and Mars are the same vibration here. And they want to do something, and they think quickly and impulsively. Somebody, if you are clearing out papers, don't be so quick and impulsive, just throw it away. Because there could be some stuff in there that's some kind of I'm hearing mind blown, but some kind of like a revelation or something. It's really, the Venus is conjunct it too. We got this, it's in a different sign, but it's a couple degrees off. So again, it's these matters of the heart. Venus plays such a key role in this chart. It's with the Mercury and the Chiron. It's at the 29 degree of the full moon chart. It's at a critical degree of its own at the 28 Pisces. 28 Pisces is the last degree, nearly the last degree of the entire zodiac, so it's even more intense, you know. So we're at this big cycle of finishing up our martyrdom, finishing up our victimhood. Blame, well, why do I keep picking assholes, you know? Every guy I date's an asshole, blah, blah, blah. Well, no. You know, look at the reality of it, you know. Bring it into the Aries energy of self. And, well, why are you picking assholes? You know, that's a good question. You picked him, you know, you picked the guy. I mean, you're going to pick somebody who's going to not a good fit, or is going to treat you bad, or is going to be the same set list over again. You're going to join a band and it's the same, we're playing these same tired tunes over and over again. And, why do you do that? You don't have to. You could break free of that. You can go forge your own path, forge your own trail. You don't have to participate in that, you know. That's not it's not a required thing. Matter of fact, it's pointless. It's fruitless. We've got Lilith. You know, Lilith. There's something about the way these charts were run. It's in the design of the chart. I believe that Lilith is actually way up here in Pisces. True Lilith. But in this chart it's showing as 28 Aquarius. I'm not sure how much we're going to bring into that energy. I have to rerun all the charts, and I just haven't got around to it yet. Because it's a big job. Because I have to set it all up to be, you know, the 0 houses and all that stuff. So I don't really want to do it. But Lilith is not correct, I think, so I'm just going to skip over that. You know, another thing that's happening now is this Jupiter's getting right there. It's retrograding, but it's close. It's close in with that download point, that galactic center. Let me just see. Jupiter's trining the sun, they say. Yeah, I guess Jupiter is trining the sun in a big wide orb there. And it's squaring the Venus. Yeah, that's a pretty big orb there, though. Yeah, Jupiter's trining the sun. Well, I'll go for that. That's 5 degrees out. So again, though, Jupiter being in this spot of, it's like taking the high road. It's like getting the downloads, getting the aha moments. With the combination of the Uranus with the sun, and then the sun trining, and sextiling the new moon too, or full moon, excuse me. But this, bringing the Jupiter energy in with the Uranus and the full moon, it's like, totally, we could break free of some old mode, and we could have some kind of big enlightenment, because nobody sets out to do that. I'm going to go find myself another asshole boyfriend who treats me bad. Nobody does that. I'm going to go join another band that I'm just going to get into a bunch of drama with, and, you know, it's going to, you know, and blame everybody in the band who, you know, it's their fault, and it's this fault, and that one's fault, and blah, blah, blah. Nobody, I don't think consciously, we don't, with our Mercury mind, we don't consciously say, yeah, I'm going to go do that. But we do it. And nonetheless, we still do it. And we get caught up in this stuff. And there's another one, Juno. we get caught up in it. So this is a great aspect with the Uranus and bringing in the Jupiter to really, you know, finally say, what am I doing? What the hell? You know, because it does happen in an instant like that, just like in an instant. You're like, what the hell am I even doing here? Why am I doing this? And, you know, you just see it from a higher level. And you just snap out of it. You're not, you're seeing the forest, you know, over the trees. You know, you're seeing the big picture of what's been going on here. And, you know, blaming everybody and telling your stories. Mercury's telling our story. You know, well, what happened? And then they launch into this huge, long story about everybody at their work was an asshole, and everybody in the band was an asshole, and every little stupid drama thing that happened, you know, stop, please, you know. You just aren't on the same vibration, or possibly the same timeline. So this stuff is squaring up with Pluto too. So some of it could be pretty harsh here, you know. This thing is, we're having a big T-square with Pluto here. And maybe the node in there too a little bit, for sure Pluto, you know. And Pluto doesn't play nice. Pluto can be really rough. Pluto can be taking a good hard look at things, and for number one, and coming back to self with the Aries energy, because that's where all the healing is. It's an inside job. It's an inside job. You can go talk to every guru and watch every YouTube video and call on the psychic lines and call 20 different psychics and get one reading after another, one reading after another, and then it all comes down to you. It's an inside job, you know. Constantly looking outside yourself for the answers. I mean, it's good to do that. We all need that. We all need that reflection back. We all need advice from time to time. But to be constantly in that, there's got to be a time where you take a hard look at yourself. It could be a hard look at yourself. Pluto also being in the thing here in the mix and square, it can be tumultuous. It might be the other party's not happy about it. You know, it may really blow up your whole life trying to do this, break free of this with Pluto. Pluto's very disruptive, you know. So this is squares energies. We got the back with the Pluto-Uranus squares, what I was talking about. Look at the animal symbolism on these guys. You've got Aries the ram and Capricorn the goat. And what do those horned creatures do? They lock horns. They butt heads. They lock horns. They're not skipping merrily through the fields. You know, they're in conflict. You know. We've got this Libra outlet, but so I'm hearing tread lightly. You know, you got to tread lightly. That toes are going to get stepped on. Feelings could get hurt. And now I'm hearing that's the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, everybody out there, don't forget that's the way the cookie crumbles. Some of these sayings that my guides come through with are way outside of my realm here. Yes, boys and girls, don't forget. Okay, anyhow, yeah, so the nodes are in there too. We've got kind of like a big grand cross actually in the cardinal signs. And what do the cardinal signs do? Bring about some change, you know. They're the change of, they mark the change of the seasons. So that's why I always offer those ingress readings, or whatever you want to call them. They're actually, it's the cardinal ingress, meaning when the sun moves into a cardinal sign, it always brings a change of season. We just had the equinox, and then we'll have the solstices, either summer or winter, and then equinox again. So that's what's here. It's a change of seasons. I know we're already in, it happened a while ago, but see, the seasonal energy, that's why those readings that I did are cool. If you're seeing this on Sunday, you got like one more day to order that if you wanted it, but it'll be back up again for the summer solstice. Because what's going on right then is the energy vibration, it sets the tone. It's a snapshot. It sets the tone for the entire season. That's why there's a lot of value in looking at those seasonal things. And the tides are changing. The seasons are changing, you know. Uranus is going to go in and get in Taurus, excuse me, and now that Uranus is firmly in Taurus, it's going to go in and it's going to, things that we're settled in, things that have become routine and we're settled in, and that we do all the time, you know. I don't think it rules habits, but it's still things that we just do all the time. Well, I've always dated guys that are assholes, or I've always been in 80s cover bands since the 80s, you know. That's like 30 years already. I mean, you know, or whatever, or, you know, I always date my coworkers, or I always, you know, choose friends who are selfish, or this or that, and, you know, I always end up giving more in the friendships, or, you know, it's the always is going to be really taken out of the equation, can be taken out of the equation, can be uprooted, can be pulled out. People want to blame. You want to blame everybody else, because I have that cool song, the blame song. But it's always their fault. It's them, and it's, you know, they did this, they did that. It's all about you. It's an inside job. Enlightenment is an inside job. Making our life better is an inside job. Anything we want to do in life, it comes down to our own selves, and that's what this Aries energy is all about. And looking at yourself and seeing how the choices you've made have landed you in the circumstances that you find yourself in. So you want to make different changes. You can keep talking your shit and telling your stories until, you know, you're blue in the face, or till the cows come home, but that's not going to help any. That's only going to reaffirm the mess that you're in, whatever mess it might be in. Or the mess is extreme. You know, not everybody's life is a complete mess. Hopefully yours isn't, you know. But whatever. Whatever you're bitching about, whatever's your problem, or whatever you're bitching about. Mercury can be run your mouth, bitching, you know. Most likely it's about how lovers and friends and family have wronged you. You know, it's all their fault. Well, saying it's their fault isn't changing a thing. If you really want to have that healing, Chiron in Aries, it's going to be taking action on your part. It's going to be being self-accountable, accountable for yourself, accountable for your own actions. You know, that's what's going to take. It's going to take you to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and get busy. Get busy being busy, or what is that? There's get busy, da-da-da-da-da. There's some little saying that I can't quite catch it there. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to check in on this thing too, because we have the Juno at 29 in Gemini. You know, that right away with that to me came as vanity. That came through as vanity. That came through about boasting. Because I think that's a lot of times where we have the need to tell these dumb stories. I shouldn't say dumb stories. That's bad. This is why we have the need to tell these stories. Because we don't want to look bad. We want to come out, well, it wasn't me. They were the one who screwed up, not me. You know, it was all their fault. But anytime you're saying it was all their fault, you're giving your power away. You're letting somebody else take the reins or take control of your life. You have the authority over yourself, over even your energetic field. I know it can be really difficult at times, but you have that's. I had an epiphany the other day when I was outside. It says, life, this earth life, is an exercise in defying reality. That's all life is. Because there's things in life that we don't like, and then we want to change them, and we have to take initiative to make them change. Mercury, we could have a lot of realizations, though, with the Mercury, Chiron, Venus. This would be a good time to have some realizations. The thoughts could get through from the realm of Neptune and Pisces. Neptune energy, Pisces energy, same thing. The thoughts could get through. Because like just a minute ago I was like, what's that? You know, they come through in waves or little bits, and you can't just always grab them, you know. It's like floating around in the cosmos out there. One of my very first videos for this channel was the universe is always broadcasting, and that's true, you know. That was what I was talking about the last time with my box of tapes. You know, it just keeps coming and coming and coming and coming. Well, that's all great, but if it's just a bunch of notes and notebooks and crap laying and boxes of tapes laying around, then what good is it all? You know, what good is it all? It's not. So there has to be a time of action. There has to be a time of mental clarity, of articulation, of cataloging, of writing things down or writing them out or singing. It's vocal, it's voice too, saying them, singing them out. There has to be that. There has to be that going on. This could be, some people it could be in a big blowout. You could say what you want to say, because Mars is in Gemini too. Mars is that Aries energy. There's a mutual reception, because Mercury is in Aries. Mercury rules Gemini, and it's in the sign of Aries. Mars rules, Aries is Mars is the rulership of Aries, and is in Gemini. So they're both in each other's signs, more or less. It's called a mutual reception. This is another powerful point. Speaking out, having clarity. Mars is anger. You know, Mars is anger. There could be anger. Angry words have been spoken. That's from a song about angry words were spoken. I can't think of the lyric right now, but that's another thing. I'm not just, boy, they're coming through. I'm not just whistling Dixie, boys and girls. Yeah, I'm not just whistling Dixie when I come up with these lyrics. That's the way the guides come through with me, because that's my mode of communication. So I'll get lyrics a lot, and often there'll be a really cool message in there. But I totally forgot. Oh, angry words can be spoken. Yeah, angry words can be spoken. And is that American Pie? I'm not sure. I'm gonna let it go. But anyways, so tread lightly again. Try to be kind. Use the energy of that is one of the 4 agreements, I believe, of being kind. And let's just look up those 4 agreements real quick. Be impeccable with your word, right? Isn't that one of them? What are they? I'm just going to look it up real quick. What are they? Break it down. Break it down to what they are. I don't want to read the whole book here. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions, and always do your best. Those are the 4 agreements, and they're great. Well, being impeccable with your word would be a good one with the Mercury. Don't take anything personally, because maybe the words that are spoken are going to be from somebody else. You know, maybe they're going to be the one going after you, verbally attacking you, and don't take anything personally. I should have looked. What was the other? Oh, I probably lost that spot, didn't I? Don't make assumptions. Yeah, and do your best. I mean, do your best. That's always all you can do. That's all you can do. Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, do your best. You say you did your best, and that's all you. Because this still is tied into the Pisces-Neptune energy. Neptune and Pisces are, yeah, together. If you're not familiar. Same vibration. And it's, so, you know, there's a lot of past stuff that's going to be coming up. Past memories, past realizations. If you do have some sort of big aha moment about, wow, I've been doing this over and over and over again. Or, wow, this really stems from my early childhood experiences or something. Or this is my first boyfriend rejected me or whatever, and now it's playing out over and over and over again. I keep picking him over again. Don't say, God, you're such an asshole. What's the matter with you? You wasted all this time, you know. Don't beat yourself up, you know. You do your best. You did your best. You did your best at that time with the amount of knowledge that you had at your disposal now. This is an aspect of knowledge. Jupiter is knowledge, Mercury is knowledge, Uranus is kind of knowledge to some extent. Jupiter on that galactic center is definitely knowledge. Knowledge being beamed through and beamed down, and hopefully with this Mercury in there, and really so close in the mix, like, you know, we're really, you know, we'll really get it. Because it's, like I said, the universe is broadcasting all the time, but sometimes, most of the time, we don't get it. You know, count me in on that too. I'm not just whistling Dixie. I keep hearing that. What the hell? Okay, I think I've got the turn of the century guides popping in from like last turn of the century from the early 1900s. What else was it? I said Whistling Dixie, and there was another really strange and kind of lame thing that I just said a little bit ago. I was like, what? But anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up. But so let's not be hard on ourselves. There could be some harsh words can be spoken. You know, there could be some breaking of ties and breaking of bonds. It's not always easy to break free of these patterns, and especially with the Libra energy, if there's other people involved, they might not want to. They may not be compliant. They may not want to break free. They want to keep doing the same old thing over and over. But they're going to have to find somebody else to do it with. That would be my. That would be what I would surmise from it. It's like, yeah, you don't have to change and come along with me, but I'm not doing this anymore. This is stupid. I keep saying stupid and dumb, and I shouldn't say those kind of words, I guess, but that's kind of what this feels like in a lot of ways, you know. It's like I'm so overdoing this. I'm not 13 years old anymore, you know. I'm growing up. Although Aries is very youthful, but it could tie back to that time. You know, Aries is that youthful, adolescent kind of vibration, you know, which has its place and is cool and good in a lot of ways. You know, sometimes we get too serious with the Capricorn energy, and we need a little bit of that to come in. Let's go have some fun. Let's go do something kind of silly, you know. Whatever I was just saying. Let's go whistle Dixie, man. But it gets redundant. It gets old. You know, it gets old. And Uranus doesn't like old. Uranus doesn't like doing the same thing over and over again. Uranus wants to do the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. Okay, we've experienced that. What's next? Let's keep progressing. Let's keep moving. Jupiter and Sag, same thing. Expansion of mind and consciousness. Okay, so it's a lot. It's a lot of different things are going on. I hope that everybody did get something out of this reading. I'm going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and supporting me in the different ways that you do. I do have a Patreon, but also through liking, sharing, commenting, donating. That all keeps this channel going and these readings free month after month, year after year. So thank you again. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have a great full moon in Libra, second one, and I'll speak to you soon.